All right, hello. I'm just going to quickly check that my audio is working here. Just going to make sure that it comes in properly. This could work. Okay, perfect. I can myself. All right, so hello everybody. Welcome to the 0.15 Veloren release. This one's I think it was 6 months since the last release. We had one in January, and so definitely pretty hype to have this one being shown off. And so that's essentially what we do during our release parties is we have like a little bit of a dev stream. And so it's like an opportunity to kind of hear from some of the devs, and I can dive into some of the things that have gone on since the last release. However, this will be a bit different. So I've been on a bit of a hiatus from the project for the last few months. And so one thing I want to start off today with before hopping into the game is just kind of going through some of the most recent blog posts, which has been kind of cool because from my perspective, I've worked on as an editor on This Week in Veloren for several years, but now several other people on the team have taken up the mantle on that. And so I kind of want to go through some of the stuff that's there as we are seeing people join the server. I'm also seeing a ton of stuff in chat today. Very cool. Some of the stuff because I was reading through some of the stuff earlier. I like someone mentioned back in my days, these parties were on Discord. Very true. I think it was like I tried to have like this complex setup where we'd be on Discord in a voice channel or maybe in a stage, and then people would talk there, and then I would try to pipe that into OBS and then stream that. And that just was so many technical difficulties. And so now it's a little bit easier. Oh, also I can change my background here. 1 second. If I go like this, I want to go backgrounds. That's the release trailer image. Oh yeah, I can make it like a Veloren background. Yeah, I think this one's like the nicest one that we have. Well, currently for just a background. Okay, that's good. So I'm just gonna change over my screen here and pull up the browser. Which one are we? Grafana here. Okay, I think that's it. So, yeah, we got people coming into the server. Right now we're at 180 people online. Very good, very good. And also advertising wise, like we normally put out like some information like a few days before and stuff like that, to kind of like have people know that the release parties are happening. But over the last few release parties, we've gotten to a point where it's just so many people will come and play that we don't need to super advertise. It's just people will show up, and so it's gonna crash the server if we have too many. I also saw in chat just mentioning that the ping was super high in the admin chat. My ping's 130, so I think. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. I think if you go to like where the release parties happen, then maybe it's a little spicy over there. But anyways, in the meantime. So first thing I also want to remember to do is we have Veloren music. Sound, turn mine off. Okay, I think. Yeah, okay, it's playing some stuff. Yeah, in the admin chat, we're talking about how the ping's high while loading chunks. Yeah. Okay, stuff might be going crazy. We'll see. But we'll be taking a little bit of a look at the server today. I want to be looking at some of the server metrics as we get more players online. And the big thing for this is that we have recently upgraded our server from an AX101 to AX102. So maybe I'll be able to talk a little bit later about. This one just going to show me the details, but we'll talk about this a bit. But what I wanted to start out with is going through some of the recent content, and the one that I specifically want to touch on is the 5 years of Veloren. So this was put together by Christoph. Christoph did a ton of work to get this one ready, and I'm pretty happy that he took up the mantle on this, because at the end of May of this year we had our 5th anniversary of when the product started, and so it's nice to be able to read this from a perspective of someone who didn't read it, just because now I get to experience the 5 years of history. And so I didn't look through this so much, but I saw this first picture and I'm like, yes, true. That's like 0. This wasn't even 0.1. I think this was just like maybe when the new engine was being put together, or maybe this is the old engine. I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember exactly, but I really like seeing the progress pictures of something like this. And I think it's relatively possible to go and just compile a super old version of the game. That probably doesn't do very much, but if you wanted to just get like other screenshots, I'm just going to increase the size here so we can read through this. So, 5 years ago, Zester posted on the Keyworld Reddit about the plausibility of getting a community-built version of Keyworld, and this was a really cool kind of idea. A lot of people attached to it, and so the Discord server was created, and so like a lot of hype from there. So this was in 2018. I didn't join the project until the beginning of 2019, so about 6 months after the start there. But oh yeah, look how beautiful that is. Look at the we got some mountains off in the distance there. We got trees. Oh, look at text chat. Very cool, very cool. I'm ready for the party. Yeah, that's pretty relevant right now. Okay, so I guess Zest made a video a while back about kind of walking around. Presumably this video is 2018, like I'd say like August or September. Let's see here. July 12th, oh my gosh. Did they actually get the demo up in like May, June? So a month and a half they put together this demo, this multiplayer demo. That's crazy. Oh, music concerns for that. Thank you. Oh, I've not been looking at chat. Wait, how do I adjust this? Sorry. Let's go like that. Yeah, the whole chat is just like, make music quieter. Yeah, okay, let me like... yeah, you tell me if that's good, or if I need to go a bit quieter. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I need to keep an eye on chat because there's a lot of people in here today. Looking forward to this. Just can't hear on max volume. All right, perfect. All right, so then it talks about like some lighting changes that were done. Okay, actually, this is crazy. Going from July 12th and 24th and like these images down to like 1 month later having like some pretty solid lighting. Oh, cool! On August 14th, the website went live. This is a really cool historical like just look into what was going on and stuff. Video server commands, okay. New UI, okay, so we can start to see like the beginning of what was what has been created. Okay. So we have some new world gen coming in. And so this world gen here, we got some like cliffs and stuff. Now this is still way before when Sharp went and did like a lot of the erosion world generation, and then we had a lot of the real-time simulation that sort of like dictates how sort of like stuff happens in the world as it's built. As it's running, but then also there's so you got like the erosion generation, you got the like placing stuff on grounds, placing sites around the world, so like villages and things that you can run into. Now that's all like way after this. This is, I'd assume that's probably like 2020-ish or 2021, I don't know exactly. So this is still like super early. Okay, color blending. Oh yeah, so I guess this is the ground. Yeah, we got some like ground colors changing, which now is like pretty intricate based on where you are in the world and what's happening. All right. A bit smaller here. All right, so we got the main menu on November 19th. Okay, so everything up until this point is still before we have the new engine in progress. Yeah, so December 4th, so oh yeah, okay, cool. February 4th, the first devlog went live. So this is the first one that I started with. Sounds like the audio's a little high still. Toss it down there. Still a bit loud. All right, cool. Ray tracing when? Yeah, I mean, I think it has been discussed in terms of like, would it be hard to do ray tracing? Not so much. Maybe we'll look into it sometime or something like that. I don't know exactly. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe it's like someone says, "Oh, is ray tracing gonna be a thing?" We say, "Ah ha 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 ha," and then we don't think about it more. I don't remember. Also, animated menu backgrounds one. Yeah. So I think that's been something that's like when we were doing a lot of product meetings surrounding features that we wanted to see. We had this idea of like, okay, you're at the main menu and you want to see like something in the background from like the world loaded in. We've thought about that for quite a while, but we've had FAO keep working super hard on the backgrounds to keep stuff pretty nice and clean for the time being. Okay. Oh yeah, so this is the first vlog. All right. Ooh, the book went live. Cool. So now we got like a new video with some animations and movement and okay, so networking, or is this NPCs? I'm not sure. Yeah, very fun. So halfway through, so I guess this is the first birthday of Veloren. And I'll go through this a tiny bit further, but then I'll leave it for others to go check out as well. Because I imagine we're getting a little bit higher in players. We've passed 200 yet? Not just yet, we're about 180-ish. All right. So yeah, we got like the 0.2 release. Oh, whoa. We have gliding in 0.2. That's pretty crazy. For some reason, I thought gliding would have been like 0.4, 0.5. There was a gliding overhaul from when it was first implemented to sort of like what we can experience now, of course. But okay, so actually our release cadence here is pretty good. We got like May, June, July, August, so that's 3 months. September, October, 2 months. Okay, not bad. Then 0.5. This measure levels. Server loading. So right here looks like when we started doing erosion, when Sharp was working on it. Because I remember the screenshot. I just want to check if am I correct with this. I don't know if this is this release party post. All right. And then 0.5. Oh, some good gliding. World gen. Oh yeah, and then I put this video together to kind of show off the sort of like the work that was being done. We need to make a new one of these videos. It's just really fun just seeing all the contributors go through and like work on stuff. And also, like, if we, so 1 minute into video, I don't know what time this is. This is April 2019. So if we jump forward to, wait, this is only a few months forward. Oh, it's just stuff is actually going that fast. Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, it's so cool just seeing so many people work on different parts here and there all the time. A lot of fun. Yeah, Gorse is a lot of fun. Okay, we call this on the content update. I think this is me being on like a spree of like wanting to really define versions as their own thing, as in like there's like one big thing for each version. But so I mean, but the content update, I mean, that's like a pretty nebulous title. Wait a second. No, okay. I know there's one point I added a feature where I was like, you can like spawn scarecrows. So I think I did that in a stream. I'm not sure. That's pretty fun. All right. So as we get further and further here, this is getting a lot closer to what we see in the game now. We can see the terrain off in the distance. We can see the world simulations pretty modern. Oh, this is a 0.10, so I don't know, when was this date? 2021. So everything here looks pretty, like we got the airships, a lot of similarities to what we see now. 0.11 release trailer, and then as we go in, we got some release trailers. So actually, this was pretty fun to make. I liked especially the gnarling forts. This was a lot of fun to run around and just kind of see everything here. All right. Anyways, we're at a little bit past the hour, so the release party has officially started. Now, I'm going to want to go check out the work that has been done on this release party map. I know that there was a ton of work that went into creating this map, and Hannibal's done like such an amazing job keeping up with like making some super cool stuff. And so the server looks like it's doing pretty well right now, so we'll come back a little bit later and check out more. But let's just take a look here. I'm going to switch over to my screen. I wish I could host a second screen before I have to stop sharing. Wait, stop screen? What's it do? Percent? Yep, share screen. Okay. Which screen are we? Oh my gosh, I have so many code windows open. Where is Veloren? Oh, here we go. All right. Okay. So let me first turn on my lantern. All right. Location. Boss train to capture flag docks party. Okay, so let's go to where the party's at. Location party. All right, so now, oh my gosh, it's up in the sky. Wow. All right. All right, and also let me put on a different song. What else we got here? I'll go through some chat questions in a bit, I think, and we can check some stuff out there. Let's see here. I'm just gonna switch through some songs quickly. Yeah, that's pretty good. And also, like, I just don't know how to properly share audio from my game, which is why we listen to the uploaded version of the Veloren soundtrack instead of just like the actual game. But you know, it is what it is. All right. So let me toss that out here. Also, I'm going to say goodbye to a lot of graphics. Distance. And it's just because my computer is a bit funky when it comes to streaming. better. I'm not sure if there's like one setting that I can hit to throw my FPS up to 60. And actually, it's probably just because the release party is a bit intense. All right. So since I haven't touched so much of the game in a little bit, I'm like very interested to see how stuff goes. But as always, okay, here I got the insight on what I should change out here. Yeah, I love this experience where as I'm streaming, I got like the dev team watching me and being like, okay, what do you need to do? Okay, so what I was trying to say is like, I'm not going to know some keybinds. I'm going to ask for some keybinds, and I'm going to get the keybinds in chat afterwards. That's how we do it. Yeah, the FPS is very low. Yeah, so I'll try to fix this. Now, the thing that's pretty annoying is that when I'm streaming to StreamYard, it's like it does a pretty terrible job at rendering stuff in high FPS. So that one is not so fun. Okay, so sprite view distance. Let's turn that down. Internal resolution. Ooh. If I make it like, yeah, it looks like we're 60-ish, but let's scale for aliasing. Reduce spread distance. So I think 50 is a second ago. Okay, it seems like we're hitting. Oh yeah. Okay, this is like a very interesting. I don't know what setting I changed to make it look like this, but this is a pretty artistic view of the game. Is that the FX upscale? Okay, it's because I changed one of the settings to 0.1. Okay. Okay, internal resolution needs to change. Okay, this looks pretty nice. So there's a game, a short hike, and I very much like the effect that they use. It's just like a shader to take stuff and then turn it into low poly characters and turn it into very nice and sort of pixelated views. Okay, let's put this like 0.5. Okay, that's pretty nifty. That's pretty nifty. I'm just gonna run around for a little bit and see how terrible it is. Yeah, that's not a amazing time. And I don't think it's like my CPU or something that's doing that. Cool. Some H top. All those aren't telling me too much. All right. Well, we'll see how it goes. Okay, so first off, now let's start taking a look at what's around us. So, as pretty much always for the release parties, we go and sort of have a map that we put together that's not generated with the rest of the world generation system, but is specifically created for the release party. So this type of thing you'll see in you'll see in the release parties, but you don't see in the normal game. Like I'm pretty sure it can be loaded in. And I did see a post somewhere recently where it's like, okay, well, what if you wanted to go and play like the release party maps afterwards? Like, how can you do that? And it'd be cool to have like a system where you can like download the terrain and then like upload it onto your server so you can like have it there or something like that. My game has temporarily frozen. We'll see if it comes back. And so, okay, so we have these release party maps, and they're created and designed and architected as like this really cool looking type of thing. And so it's kind of like a fun thing to explore, where we can talk about some of the features, we can show off what's been going on with the Someone spawned a ton of entities or something. You can see what's going on with like the updates, and then we can just kind of have a good time in a loose party. Okay, why is my oh my gosh, that's crazy. Oh yeah, it's pinging my CPU. I don't even know if was like, let me check my audio coming through. Okay, so my audio is still coming through. All right, so we're taking a look here. We got some admins on the checking some stuff out here. So essentially, I think what just happened is that a ton of things are just spawned, kind of entities were just spawned, and this caused everybody's games to suddenly try to render everything. So in some very indirect way, we are a cheap admin command. You can heat up everybody's homes. All right, well, I'm gonna quickly just log out so I don't nuke my computer here. We can take a look at the server stuff, I think, and come back and we'll check out the release party. All right, back down to 0%. All right, I should be back. On screen there. All right. All right. So, in the last little bit, let's take a look here. I'm pretty. Oh wait, I'm looking at a time range. Oh, that's why I'm not seeing any of the updates of what's going on. Yeah. Okay, so over the last 5 minutes, so we did the thing, and now server tick goes very high. All right, so this is getting looked at and dealt with. Oh, server tick. Oh, so beautiful, so beautiful. This is, okay, so another thing is when, and also if we want, just in admin chat, if you want me to run a server restart, we can also do that if that's gonna be easier. Normally when the server is running, so we have this server from Hetzner. We just upgraded to it. I'm going to talk about it later because I love talking servers. But it's the AX102, and it has like the Ryzen 9 7950X3D, which is Zen 3, got DDR5, all that fun stuff. But one of the things that we've never been able to like do as much with Veloren is when we're running it, and like a lot of people are playing or whatever. If you hit 300 players, whatever. The CPU will normally stay at like 50%. It's just using all of the cores to do its work, but it won't normally go higher than 50%. However, when we do a little spicy spawn, then we get, like right now, we're getting into high territories of CPU usage. And so, I mean, to be honest, like we haven't had a like an exciting server party in a while in terms of the server crashing or the server getting overloaded. And so to me, this is pretty good. I'm interested in checking the data, but so let's go take a look at some of the stuff here. So first of all, if I take a look at the server tick, okay, we're hitting like, oh yeah, 570 milliseconds, and so this is saying that every second, every tick is taking 571 milliseconds, and so that means that we can have like 2 server ticks per second, ideally. And if we go back to the home screen here, we'll see. This is the bar right here, where if we go above 30 milliseconds, then, 33 milliseconds, then we're not hitting 30 ticks per second, and then that's our goal. And so when we have servers, like server parties and stuff like that, we tend to see stuff go higher. And we are seeing like a little bit go above 31. But then we got like this little skyrocket over here, 47 milliseconds, and then the next one after that is 55 minutes. So. Yeah, I'm seeing the server chat here. It looks like they're we're trying to figure out what was spawned and what's going on. Could we just server restart from the easiest way? All right. Oh, is it fine now? Let's see. Oh, we kicked everybody. It just got fixed. Okay, let's go for 5 minutes here. Yeah, so CPU is being pinned right now. So I think that's like a thing that needs to probably have a server restart. But anyways, while this is going on, we can probably I'll take a look through chat here. Oh yeah, 100% CPU utilization. Oh, amazing. Yeah, because in most games they'll just pin one of your cores, right? Like if your game's lagging or something, it's just pinning one core. It's not gonna eat all of them. We like eating all of them. We're very good at eating all of them. Do you know when you add more sounds to the mobs and more feel to the combat? So the combat question is definitely one that we get asked a lot, and this is mostly just around like when it comes to like the animations and when it comes to like the combat feel. What are like sort of our thoughts on it and stuff like that. And the animation system we have right now, we've been using for quite a while, and it works pretty well for being able to create like a lot of new weapons and have them be part of it. But definitely, I think we've been seeing over like the last few years, like a lot of people saying like, oh, it would be like if we had like a different feel for combat or maybe like a different approach. So, I mean, it all comes just down to like experimentation. When someone wants to like go in and experiment with stuff, try to change stuff out, then it's all fine. All right, looks like the server CPU is coming back in. How's our tick rate? Oh, our tick rate's perfect. Ooh, look at that. Down to okay, for like 40 milliseconds. Let's see here. Yeah, okay, we're doing all right now. The CPU is still gunning a bit, but oh yeah, so sounds for the mobs. Again, this is just a sound team. They make such awesome stuff, but and there's like a little bit of desync, right? Like we have people come in who want to create a thing, and maybe they're really good at creating models, maybe they're really good at creating audio, or maybe they're really good at creating like doing something in code. We don't really have sync up meetings where we're like, oh, this person created this new mob, so someone on the sound teams can go set up the sound, so someone is going to go write all the code for it. It's really a lot of like asynchronous work, and so someone might put together several models and have them ready, and the art team will be like, okay, we're just going to kind of wait for something to be able to come in. So yeah, it pretty much just comes down to like when we have awesome people who are willing to do awesome stuff and put in the time into it, and that's when we get some pretty awesome audio. Yeah. Oh yeah. Are we allowed to crash like this during release parties? Of course, we're pre-alpha. We can do whatever we like. As long as we keep it 0.14, 0.15. Oh yeah, we can crash a release party. Heck yeah. Ooh, we're speculating that it might have been like the physics system having to do all of the work. Let me just go back to the last 15 minutes and let's take a look at spiking here. I want to see. Oh yeah. Oh, check this out. Okay, so what was happening on the server side during that time where everything slowed down? It says that every second, the physics system in Veloren took 17 seconds to execute. And this works just fine. We have 32 threads on the server. And so, just fine is like very relative. But even though it sounds like, oh, you're taking 17 seconds per tick, how it actually works is that 17 seconds can be distributed across all the cores, which is why we love like the AMD processor. Getting like the Ryzen 9 5750X is like 32 threads. You get like a lot of parallelization, and Veloren is able to make great use of that. So yeah, it was like a lot of physics that was going on there too. I have to do a ton of calculations on everything happening. So I think that this is we have like our own admin chat that's like, I don't know if we still use it, but it's like the fire chat or whatever. Like if something goes wrong during a release party, we go there and we're like, oh gosh, what's happening? And so I think we'll probably do some experimentation to see what happened from spawning a few enemies to having that all be created. Oh yeah. Like the low res version of the game looks pretty cool. Looks like animated movies. I guess release parties are good for stress testing since the user count is probably peaking. True. Except sometimes, so we've been having more and more occurrences where like some streamers playing or something, and then you'll just have 300 people on the server. And that is a really good stress test. That is like, we see that that's happening on our Grafana, we're just like, oh yes, a lot of people out here. And then like we just tell the team, and then we kind of keep an eye on it. Oh yeah, so another thing I wanted to check out is the amount of network being used. It's pretty cool. So it looks like, oh, interesting. So during the crazy period of like a lot of stuff happening on the server, there was like almost no bandwidth. But like right here, let's see. This is like now one thing. So the server we use inside of Hetzner, it has gigabit Ethernet or gigabits to the internet, and we're using like 89 megabytes per second in this case right here. And so essentially, if that hits 112ish, then we can't go higher. Like we could like we'd be limited on bandwidth, and so that's like an interesting one to keep an eye on as as we sort of like scale, and if we want to have like more people on the server. Okay. Anyways, let's hop back into the server and check some more stuff out here. Now that exciting situation is resolved. All right. Location party. Okay, so it's now daytime. I have my cursor taken. Okay, there we go. Don't need too much debug information right now. We got wait, someone has to tell me there's a button okay. Oh no, I did it. there's a button I pressed in the past, and I'm like locked on to like a certain direction. It's like I'm walking forward or something. And last time this happened, someone told me so last time someone told me that there was a thing that I had to press to unlock myself, so that I'm not just continuously going in this direction. We will see. Someone will tell me momentarily, and then I'll figure out how to turn it. It's because I pressed too many buttons at once while trying to type. All right. But in the meantime, okay, so we another thing is we've had this map for a while. We were looking at swapping it out to another map, but I haven't gone through and like done the generation for it yet. Yeah, and the process for it is basically I generate like 10 maps, post some images of them in chat, we just talk about what we like and don't like with them. I think this one we liked because it had a decent amount of like mountain ranges, some interesting. You can see like all the biomes and stuff like that. Over the audio, let's find another Veloren song. Let's try out this one. Okay. All right, HTOP looks good. It looks like we're not hitting the CPU right now. Oh, apparently the L button. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. Wait, L. yeah. It does say free look active. All right, perfect. There we go. All right. Ooh. Location T. Cool. So, yeah. So I think this one's like, I think Asian inspired. I'm not entirely sure if it's Japanese, but I love this tree right here. Like, so we have like a lot of pretty interesting tree generation. There was I think CC Gauch and Zester were working on trees a while back, and we have some like really nice looking and like fancy trees. So, like the massive trees are like procedurally generated, but this kind of tree is like a very cool staircase, and then you got like maybe some like blossoms on it. That's pretty nice. Got a dragon right there. Yeah, so So I did a session with Hannibal where we went through and kind of like talked about what the process behind building stuff like this is. But I can definitely see like Hannibal's skill like really increasing as he's been working on like larger and larger scale, like castles or monuments or anything like that. Yeah, very cool to explore. I don't know. I don't know if I get to see the whole thing. So right now, 158 players online. Awesome. So I'm going to use some of my advanced tactics of movement to see what else we got in the area. Oh, sweet. Oh my gosh. Like, just like this platform here is so cool. I'm just putting behind here. That's a little bit of terrain. It reminds me a lot of the House in Spirited Away, sort of like just like the top of the mountain, kind of climbs up into the sky. Let's hop down here and check some other stuff out. Ooh, what's over here? Oh, is this? I think maybe is it one of the spawn areas? So I know for this release party we have several different areas that are sort of put together, so we'll be able to check out several of the locations. Oh man, I think this is the arena. Oh, they're going at it. But I have the advantage of not taking damage, because what tends to happen is like I'll be exploring and release party stream or something, and then I'll forget that I'm not invulnerable, and then I'll go jump in lava and I'll die, and you know. So we've just resolved that by not letting me take damage. Yeah, the view distance is pretty nice on the dragon up there. This is like such a vertical release party map, like several different levels to it. Oh, that's so beautiful. It's a little gondola up here. Let's see if I can land on it. It's a bit dark out from, like, can I, see. I'm just going to turn up the, ambient brightness is what I want, I think. Is that I think that's a bit easier to see on stream, potentially. All right. So this way of like how, oh, I have my glider on apparently. Wait, did I must have control something. So having the three different areas like this reminds me a lot of like in Warcraft 3 when you want to make like a custom map and you want to have different areas, you just like throw them in, like you got like this big map, like big rectangle or whatever, and you're just gonna put them in different places and not like allow players to access either of them. So I think unless you have the secret broom like I do, I think you gotta teleport using the command to get to all three of the areas. Yeah, so every time I see something like I don't know, like this that Hannibal creates, I think it's like really cool to have stuff like this at the release party because it's like super inspirational for like the engine, right? Like I could look at this and be like, oh yeah, you got the lights there, everything looks super cool. You got like the plants here all waving in the breeze, and like the lighting looks nice, and I can imagine maybe just like NPCs all over here doing some stuff. And so the engine that Veloren uses is really solid. And I think that stuff like this gives us a lot of inspiration. So like the concept art that people make, the models, the ideas that people come up with, it's a lot of inspiration for like what we're able to do with the procedural generation and like make sort of more accessible to just having in the world in general. And so, I mean, I think one of my favorite parts of Veloren is like the types of like cave generation we do, and it's just like such amazing simulation of like cool stuff you can fly through, and you can check in like some of like the bioluminescence of plants and stuff like that. Looks really, really cool underground. And so seeing like stuff like this in like the mountains and just like kind of how stuff flows. Ooh, got some waterfall over here. Let's check that out. The water. Is this flowing water up here? Here. Because so if the map is created in an external editor and you like load in some water or something, I'm curious if like the code for it allows you to so like not really dynamically but procedurally have like the water flow and figure out like how it gets down to the bottom of this basin. Yeah, it would be so cool to have like a little bit of waterfall spray down here. Stars are very nice. Oh, the stars! Oh, cool. The stars look very interesting with the shader underwater. Very nice and blue. So I'm just gonna take a look quickly in the news post we made earlier because we have like a little bit of a summary of some of the things that yeah, the Frost Giga is like the new boss. I think that's potentially what we tried to spawn and then did some funky stuff to the server. So if there's a Frost Giga somewhere at some point, then we can go check them out. Okay, no new dungeon though. Adlet Caves. I'm not sure how to find one, but I would really like to go see that. That'd be pretty cool. Airstrippers can now be used by players, which is very cool. Looking able to pilot it, kind of navigate around. So another one is like the reputation system. Like, so I don't know how in depth it goes, but this idea of like a reputation system where you as a player doing stuff can get tracked throughout the world, and potentially like other NPCs will remember that. But then also some of the other stuff about NPCs will migrate and pass on rumors. Like these systems working together makes it seem a lot more, I guess, like intricate and dynamic. When it is not just like I go to a village and there's like NPCs there that kind of like just doing their small task of something, but that they like lead their own lives in game. So that's pretty nice. And actually, I'm kind of curious too. Just go kind of see how like if there's any like things like with towns that feel. Oh my gosh! Oh wait, so this is something else I just noticed. I'm just gonna stop here for a second. I don't know if this was added before, but level of detail towns, like the fact that from where I am right now, I can see the town off in the distance. So someone correct me if I'm incorrect here, but that I don't know if that was added like recently. Oh, I've also gotten word that I can try this new experimental shader. Okay. Wait, do I need to choose one of these? Oh, tab to complete. Tab to sorry. Experimental shaders, and then Veloren, no noise, Sobel, gradient, Sobel, curved world. Oh. Oh wow, this is funky. I think some of my movement from here is a little bit wacky and wild right now. Wow, for people who played the Outer Wilds, this is big, making me think about that. Okay, let's experimental shader, and then what is this called? Curved world. Disable curved world. Okay. Now I'm a little wee bit stuck. There goes my character. My camera is kind of chilling. I think you might need oh sorry, yes. Thank you. I think I might need to quickly do a little bit of a log out and log back in. Also, you might be getting a little bit more server lag here from the looks of it. Oh my gosh, wait. Our server transmit is maxed out right now. Whoa, no. Okay, so what's that? Server network is maxed. Yeah, so we're like fully saturated gigabit right now. Not good. Interesting. Okay, so it looks like we're maxing the 1 gigabit per second. We'll swap back over to. And also to make it very, very clear, this this stream is not a let's play Veloren. It's a let's watch what breaks. Okay, actually, I'm kind of curious now. Can I? What's the cost to upgrade to 10 gigabit? That's nerf 10 GB. This replace 1 gig. One uplink to service you need to. Okay. For the second option, we will charge you a relocation fee. Cost you okay. The monthly fee for 10 gig uplink is about half as much as we pay for the server. Now, this only happens during a release party. Normally, but saturated gigabit is pretty crazy. Okay. Let's see. We're still frying a little bit. Okay. So while we're kind of back in the admin chat again for taking a look at what's going on, time to talk with servers, because I love talking with servers. So let's see. I want them to. Okay, so basically, Hessner recently released. Not really released. They just have AX1 and 2 servers available now, and so the price of this one is €100, 110 euros per month. And this gives us like a pretty strong server. Like the thing we'll notice is if I go back to here, also our server memory went wild in like the last 15 minutes too. Let's see here. Oh yeah. Okay. This is exciting. So this is the type of stuff we look for in the release parties, is trying to see anomalies like this that we don't normally see on like a daily basis. Okay. So with this, I think there's like some interesting things where, we can see basically, what happened here. So with this, I'd mostly, like, if we want to go and like analyze it and try to figure out what's happening where, we could look at some like places where we see spikes. And so right here, it hops up to like 93. And we can see, so it looks like there's a few systems that are taking a little bit of time, agents and entity sync. And then presumably, I want to like isolate right on this. So yeah, we're peaked out on network usage. So, but everything else is pretty fine. I guess server memory is a bit funky. Average upload for player, upload for channel. So let's go back to the last 15 minutes. And oh yeah, that's some fun stuff right there. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, these are just like some interesting anomalies with how much a client is sending to the server. So I think, yeah, we'll take a look at this because so potentially this was like a DOS by someone. Potentially it was just something happening on the server, and so we'll be able to check that out and kind of see what. Oh, interesting. There's like a. This is probably. But yeah, okay, cool. So with the new server that Hessner has, the main thing is basically the same price as last one we were paying for. Is I think the other one was like 100 something, but it gives like with this new processor, we get like upgrade from Zen 2 to Zen 3. We get upgrade to DDR5 RAM, and we get a ton more CPU L3 cache. Maybe not a ton more. I don't know exactly how much, but. And the other thing is like you can't really take all of these and say, oh yeah, because like this, like our game's gonna run better because a game is very multifaceted. There's a ton of different stuff running. Maybe it's not making use of everything that the CPU can have, but when I mean, I guess what I'm saying is sort of obvious. When you have everything get a little bit better, you're going to get much more out of it. But I feel like this upgrade, especially Zen 2 and Zen 3, oh, so nice, so nice. And to a certain extent, we are bottlenecked by what the server can give us. So, like, we are wanting more in terms of, like, if we had a server that had 128 cores and 256 threads, and each thread was like super fast, then we're like, okay, Veloren will probably run better like with that. But we aren't exactly sure. Like, it is difficult to provision that much hardware and say, let's run like a benchmark in which we spawn like 100 players that are bots and kind of see how they move around and like what everything is different. It would be really nice to have tests like that. But for the most part, we're mostly aware that we're like, okay, we don't want a dedicated server CPU because like, so for example, like an AMD EPYC or an Intel Xeon, and maybe this is just me speculating, but I'm pretty sure we don't want that because their CPU clock speed is often lower than that of like a gaming CPU. Gaming CPU is often like very single-threaded, performance-oriented, and so you get like the 3 or 4, like 4 or 5 gigahertz kind of thing. Whereas like server CPUs tend to be like 2, 3, 4 range mostly. I could be wrong about that, but then on the other hand, server CPUs like an EPYC or like an Intel Xeon will give you like each core can do processing that is designed to either be to use specific types of instructions, and so like the instruction set that might come on I guess you call them extensions. Like if you want to do AVX, I don't remember the exact term, but it allows you to do certain things better, but these certain things tend not to be what consumers would use. But you also do get like a lot of extra cache. You also get like a lot of extra cores and stuff like that. And so, anyways, moral of the story: it'd be nice if we could like kind of take a look at some of these numbers and have solid comparisons. Cool. So we did this upgrade. Lots of fun. It would be cool to go up to 10 gig link. I don't think we actually did. I think there's some anomalies happen here, and we often aren't going to hit this type of bandwidth usage. What else do we have here? Okay, let's go back to the last 5 minutes, see how stuff is doing. All right, so bandwidth is looking pretty good. CPU is looking pretty good. Memory's looking pretty good. Okay, I want to see memory though, because one thing I was going to mention is when we get a server, we care a lot more about the CPU than we do the amount of RAM. We tend not to use that amount of RAM, but in me saying that, I went and looked, and I'm like, ooh, we're actually running pretty nice and high. So normally it looks like we're using like 23 gigs of RAM, which I mean, in comparison to your home computer, is quite a lot. But in like for how much we have, which is like 128, it's not too much at all. Um, right. Also, yeah, sorry. And other things, I wanted to say Happy Canada Day because it is. I mean, I'm Canadian, and so that's why I know about all of that. But, uh, yeah, someone mentioned in chat. So it said choking down. I'm like, oh yeah, in Ottawa we have like smokes of wildfires. I'm like, oh yeah, that's also a thing. So that is my relevant life having things right now. All right, let me here. We'll pass on a new song here. Let's try this one, and let's go back over to Veloren. All right. All right. So I think game plan. I want to try checking out. Oh yeah. So we had the shaders. I want to continue my conversation where I left off, which was okay. I'm here. I want to go down a little bit. Map. I want to go over this way. Okay. Yes. So the point I was saying earlier was, off in the distance we can see the village there. I asked, "Is this a new thing?" Zester mentioned to me, yeah, it's like a relatively new thing, but LOD towns, so cool because. I mean, in the past, you'd have mountains off in the distance. Cool, we can see like this sort of like blurry version of a mountain, and it was just like very copy and paste across the distance. And then we started like getting a little bit more. And so I feel like clouds and atmospheric effects came after that. But then the next thing after is okay, let's do some trees. And to me, I'm like, okay, this real like the first time I saw LOD, the first time I booted up the game and saw mountains off in the distance, I was blown away because this is a relatively hard thing to do with like procedurally generated games where you have stuff generated off in the distance. So trees were added. Trees look great. We can see like a big tree off in the distance over there. And now we have towns. And so we can see that little town down there. I don't have like a good way of pointing at it, like right there. So when it was night, we could see the town lights, and I love that so much. All right, we are falling. Okay, let's go check out this town. So the other thing I want to check is how does it load in? So we got 4 houses right there. Is it gonna load like that? Oh my gosh, it does. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. So that's another thing is like, as a new player, you might ask, you might ask like, okay, are these mountains off in the distance? What are they? Are they just, like just kind of put there as placeholders, and as you fly closer, it like won't look like that? But no, like as you fly closer to that mountain, as you fly closer to those trees, they will turn into real trees. I'm pretty sure they turn into real trees. I think they are actually sampled based on what's there. And so I was wondering, okay, well, same thing for towns. Like, is it sampled based on towns, or is it like the town that it is, like how the town looks, or is it just some stuff placed by itself? Now, and also, I mean, this being said, I'm flying around, and this is not something that people normally do. This is like a debug type of thing. This is us looking behind the curtain. You as a player, you're gonna be like walking from town to town. You're gonna like see a town across the river over there and want to go explore it. And so the way that's gonna render in for you will be like a lot more natural. Now, as I came into town, we have all of these people talking. I think we also have some players here. This is like looks like a player. Wait, is it a player, or did I just do something wrong? Why is there? Oh, why don't they like me? What did I do to them? They're not a fan of me. What the heck? Oh, okay, I guess I committed some crimes in the past, and I need to pay for my sins. All right, but anyways, they're hanging out with me now. Oh yeah, they're coming at me. They're going hard. I love the stuff that's being said over here. There's like the stuff that NPCs are coming up with. A lot of discussions happening. It would be pretty cool. Like this NPC's talking about a lot of stuff, and like maybe they're a traveler. I wonder if like it'd be a way for me to go up to them and kind of see a history of where they've been, like what they've done, and kind of like what they're doing. Oh, what the heck? Oh my gosh, it's an airship. Um, that was cool that we saw the shadow of that. One thing I have an airport that's near me, and one of the coolest things ever is like if I'm in the backyard and it's sunny out, and I see like a shadow go across the ground super quickly, then I know it's like an airplane that blocked out the sun for like a fraction of a second. And that, I mean, that getting simulated here, that's a very cool effect. All right, I'm gonna bring all the villagers onto the ship, and then we can fly away with them. I feel like this is being piloted by someone. Yeah, it is. Okay, yeah, we got the whole village with us. I've single-handedly ruined the economy of this entire village. Goodbye. I'm pretty sure that each one of these, like, maybe they're gonna try to go back to the village afterwards. Maybe they're gonna try to go to a new place. I'm not entirely sure. Got a little bit of funky glitching happening here. Are we being piloted by this player? I feel like I'm not entirely sure, but I know we have server-side physics or client-side physics. I feel like if I turn on client-side physics, it would make it a little bit less choppy, and mostly just because the server's pretty far away from me in Germany. I am in Canada. I feel like I'm about to fall off. But I think with just relying on client-side physics for what I see, even if it isn't actually what's happening, or is happening a little bit differently. Oh, well, I've fallen. All right. Okay. I don't know if I'll make it back. Okay, unless I can stand out here. Okay. Well, we might fall. But what I wanted to do, okay, so we went to village. That was pretty cool. I want to go to the sea chapel now. Oh, there's the. Oh, I'm running into something I can't see. All right, I'll let it run down. I should know. Location part T. Ping might also be going up again. I'm hearing from the admin chat that might be some stuff going on. Let's see. Last 5 minutes. How are we doing? Take a quick look and passing stuff over to the admin chat. All right. Okay, so I'm going to take a look into that. So I think we'll likely not, unless we're back right here. Okay, so I'm going to swap back over to the browser. Yeah, it looks like we have capping out on bandwidth again, which means that it feels like we're just frozen again. So I think that what we'll be looking into in the future is probably like seeing what is causing the bandwidth to be so high. Because I have done analysis in the past. I've taken a look at it, and I've kind of, okay, so if I run my own Veloren server, then I like track a client, see how many packets of like data are being sent per second or whatever, and then kind of like extrapolate and say, okay, well, if we had 500 times that amount of players, like how much network would be used or whatever. And we weren't doing terrible, but we do pass a lot of data over in the form of chunks and other things, which I mean, every time that this kind of thing comes up, I go on my wouldn't it be nice tangent of like, okay, well, I wonder if there'd be like a cache server that sits in front of the terrain, and so if you're asking for terrain, you get sent there, and you can download everything from there, and then it takes off bandwidth usage from the main server or something like that. But there's always complications to doing that. I remember there was one release party, I'm like just out here talking about, oh, wouldn't it be nice to have like a distributed cluster that was like the Veloren server, and you could have like different servers and stuff like that. And then in the Discord, I feel like the other admins were like, no, like the systems are too complex. Like if you haven't coded it yourself, like it's too, you won't understand why. It's like you can't share all this type of stuff. Yeah, so I think the I don't know, I like thinking about that kind of stuff though. It's like if we're in a data center and we have several different servers that are connected together or something like that, and they can all communicate, would be pretty awesome to have some way for them to, I don't know, like distribute the work. And of course, like, I mean, we want to try to, like, our goal, one of our goals for a long time has been like hit 1,000 players on the same server at once. But that is asking a lot. Yeah. All right, so I'm just thinking here, if there's anything else to show off for today. So, I mean, we've been on for about an hour-ish with the release party. And I mean, the other thing now is like, it used to be that when we would host a release party, we'd always get like a more powerful server and then have to transfer everything onto it and everything off of it. But now we're able to just use the same server all the time. So it's like the main server is the release party server, all that good stuff. So less work for me. Yeah, I think because like, so Hetzner, their cloud offerings, I mean, there's some cool stuff. Like Hetzner now has cloud in the US, and so it would be fun to get some stuff deployed there, but it would be very limited in how many people get out, because we can't, like, we use like dedicated servers for, so if we go here, we can see like the AX line. It'd be nice if this server line was available in the US. And it's just that for compute is what we need. We don't care so much about memory. We don't care so much about hard drive space. For compute, if you go to AWS or Azure or GCP or DigitalOcean or any of these other ones that are like more global data centers, instead of just Germany and Finland and the US, all of them charge so much for compute. And we have like a decent amount of money coming in from Open Collective, but we definitely don't have like throw money at the problem kind of thing. So until then, actually one thing we did want to try though is we wanted to try having a cloud server in the US that is just a proxy to our server in Germany, because I mean, I don't know everything about how the world networking routing works, but in theory, if you were to connect into a Hetzner data center in, I don't know if it's like Washington or wherever it is in the US, Ashburn, I feel is the name. So if you were to connect to that, then that the server inside of Hetzner there connecting to Hetzner's other data center probably has a better route than you trying to connect directly to Hetzner in Germany. And this is just how like data centers sort of have like better connections to one another that aren't on like the main bus of, or I guess like the consumer bus of internet in the world or whatever. So we have to experiment with that. We haven't actually set that up, played around with it, but that would be kind of a cool experiment. But okay, what else am I trying to say? I feel like I was trying to come up with a point here. It'd be fun to host more servers. Server stuff is fun. We've sort of set up, like XMAC and myself, we've been working on, well, mostly XMAC, because we've been working on like a Kubernetes approach to hosting our services. So it's like a little bit nicer to say like run stuff or change out some data or whatever. Ooh, exciting. Why is this down? Or not down, but why is it having difficulty? Yeah, so we'll get a play with that. Okay, so what I want to do is compute resources. Do we have information here? Ooh, okay, so you can see quite a lot of stuff here. Okay, cool. So, we got some information about the pods that are running within Kubernetes. Yeah, okay, this is cool. Default. I'm trying to figure out if I can parse any of these because there's like some complexities to how stuff is hosted, but I don't know if I can pull any easy information from that. Oh, Prometheus, cool. Better dashboards we have. But we can see Airshipper. Total downloads since, I guess, I don't know, since 8 days ago. So I guess this is per day. Dang, this is crazy. So we'll presumably see like another pretty big uptick. We can see that. Oh wow, 11,000 people are using x86, and then 110 are using Arch, which I think is mostly just like the Mac M1s. Oh my gosh, check that out. We have like a lot of people using Linux. Well, yeah, I guess that makes sense. But nice. So presumably 110 of those 174 Mac OS people are using M1s. Do we store anything about benchmarks? Ooh. Interesting. I don't know if there's anything else on here. We're going to be setting up Loki soon, and so hopefully that gives us like the ability to see server logs in real time and potentially expose some of that to the public. Like one of the things that we as a project want to do is try to keep everything as open and transparent as possible, and so that's why we have this Grafana that anybody can go and look at. With Loki, hopefully we can get some of that public as well, and so people can like check out how a lot of stuff is running and working and all that. All right, are we back in action? I don't know if we are just yet. Let's go last 5 minutes. Yeah, okay, it looks like we're good right now. All right, so I'm gonna do a little bit more exploring in game, and then we'll call it a day on the stream. Oh my gosh, there's so many comments I haven't read in a while. Big part of the game's performance issue will probably drive from how chunk loading is needed, or how much chunk loading is needed. Like for the server client, so for the client, of course, like you need to have all the chunks that are around you. One thing I've sort of been curious about, so I don't know if I can show it so easily. As a player, I have this entire radius around me. I wonder if there could be like a heuristic that says if I'm moving in a certain direction, load more that are in that cone of vision of me, and then don't care as much that are like about like the like parts of the where I'm going from. And so that would work well if you're just running off in a distance because you get to see more further away. It wouldn't work as well if you're running around. I guess if I'm fighting something that should be more circular, because then I might turn around quickly and might see stuff behind me. And if I'm like just going through a town or something, I think you could have a pretty strong heuristic that tells you which ones to load. Because if you could change the shape, essentially, like, okay, let's say this server, right now we have view distance 10. I have view distance 10 on or something like that. If I was able to, you just calculate the radius of that, whatever is a circle, you get some area. If I was able to take that much area and sort of like change it out so that I could see like that area, but in like a more efficient direction to what I'm doing, that would be kind of nifty. But Okay. Oh, this is kind of cool. So someone mentioning that they work at Hessner, and okay, this is some good information. So I'm gonna pass this on to XMAC as well. So there's a dedicated networking setup between the European data centers, but not the American two, as far as I know. Indicated by the network zone and the API. Now, what I'm sort of here, and this is me just not knowing internet backbones as much, but I sort of think about it like data centers are probably on some type of highway where, and I'd have to like draw this out for it to actually like make sense outside of my head. But I'm like, okay, if me as a consumer is trying to get to a data center in Europe, I probably get to the internet highways eventually, but I probably have to go through like a few more stops. Whereas once you're in a data center, you're probably already on those highways between everything. You're like already part of like whatever is just like the fastest way to get everything through. That's sort of how I imagine in my head. But the way to test this, of course, would be to just host something in the US on like a cloud server and kind of see what my ping to the server is versus when I'm on the real Veloren server, whereas when I'm on the proxy. But this is just speculation. This is just like me sort of imagining how internet works. Sister mentioned chunk loading is something that's being worked on and will likely not be a bottleneck in a few months. Oh, very cool, very cool. The reason it's slow is because the release map in particular is so enormous. Yeah. So like when I was on the release map, we could think, okay, if we have a very vertical release map, we have like an island up here, an island a bit lower, an island a bit lower. As far as I know, we have different terminology, but we have this idea of a chunk, which is like maybe X is 16 wide, 16 long, and then 16 high or something like that. So that's a chunk. But then we need like a lot of different chunks that represent the stuff in like the vertical dimension. And so even if I have, let's say, so much area within the circle that's here, this many chunks that are loaded for me right now is not going to be as much data as is not going to be as much data as when I was at like the release party area, because there's just so much else going on there. Okay. Anyways, I want to quickly go over to the C chapel. Actually, I think so. I've done the C chapel before. Is it possible for me to find a cave? I don't know if it would be named like the. Oh man, I love these icons so much. Like you just like hover over it and it's like shows off the type of monster in like a cute pixelated form. They're so good. I mean, it's been on the backlog for quite a long time, but eventually when Veloren gets a story and questing system, oh my, is it ever going to be super nice to see it all tuned into this kind of stuff. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find specifically a cave or a dungeon that is the type I'm looking for. Okay, let's just go try this one. So this is a dungeon, sea chapel, dungeon. Okay, I'm interested in what a lair is. It looks so good just flying across and going quickly. Like a flight simulator with this, like, I don't know, I guess airship simulator. That would look so good. I like the atmospheric effects. You can like see the stars and everything. Okay. Oh, I'm here. Ooh, okay. Okay, so maybe this is just like a normal dungeon type. And like what I was talking about is like the monster mentioned. Okay. Let's speed run. Okay, so I think it's just a normal dungeon. Ooh. Dang. We both got cultist armor. Very cool, very cool. Oh my gosh. Ooh, who teleports me? Oh, hello, Issa. Issa's one of our core developers who does like a ton of stuff on World Gen. All the homies hanging out over here. Yes, there are more direct connections sometimes. My ISP has special stuff set up. Therefore, or a traceroute to stuff like Hessner's internet, something through ISP, and then directly to Hessner. Yeah, so that's sort of like what I imagine is like it's a big graph problem, and data centers are efficient finders of how to navigate the graph. But I mean, end of the day, we just need to host a whole bunch of different servers in different places. All right. Oh yeah, we got speed. I think another fun thing about having the release parties is always fun seeing. So we have like a lot of developers who have like come and work on stuff, and then either on hiatus or taking a break, or maybe like they've gone and come back and all that kind of stuff. But we tend to see like a lot of people at release parties that we might not have seen in quite a while, and so it's always fun just like seeing everybody in chat and kind of catching up and stuff like that. And I mean that's one of the coolest things about this being a game made by a community is that we really get that ability to feel like a lot of friends working on something cool rather than making this work or anything more than like a hobby side project kind of thing. And so that's a really big benefit of I don't know, being part of the team, like feeling like included in everything, you know. And I mean, we have like hundreds and hundreds of contributors that have added a lot of different stuff to the game. Super multifaceted, super cross-discipline, and yeah, that's like a lot of fun to see everybody's like different expertise. Oh, what's this? Oh my gosh, does it just go into the mountain? Oh, that's so cool. I've not seen this before. The different types of dungeons we've had. So we had one dungeon for quite a while that was like just kind of caved out underground, and it goes deeper and deeper. And this is like what you'd be familiar with in like a lot of dungeon types of things. But I've not seen this type of dungeon. It's just like hollowed out a mountain. Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, and just like so many smart people working on really cool things. Oh my gosh, it's like this big cavern inside. It'd be awesome if there's like stalactites or stalagmites or whichever ones are hanging down from the roof, and like you could get some lighting up there maybe. So this looks like some type of like orc village or something that I could trade with. It shows as having like I interpret this as like difficulty too, but maybe I'm just like because I'm not attacking them, they're chilling. So cool, so cool. Oh my gosh, that's very cool. If because my render distance is so low, you start to just not be able to see the outside. So if I go, or not render distance, but chunk view distance, graphics. Oh yeah, okay, so we're limited to 20 right now, but if I turn that up, then in theory, that should fix itself. So, or is it my own view distance that I turned on? View distance, LOD distance. I don't know. I imagine these chunks would load back in. It might also just be the servers taking its time sending some stuff over to me. All right. Yeah, so I think I'll probably call it here. It's been about an hour and a half since the release party started. So hopefully people get to check out the amazing stuff that has been put together. So yeah, just as a reminder for anybody watching, you can always do location and then just tab. Well, I guess you can't tab through here. But if I just type in location, location, it lets me know there's like a few different. Oh, I'm gonna go to docs. Location, docs. Spelling docs like this way is very weird for me. Like habitually, I'm just going to do DOCS because that's like if I'm coding, that's what I'm going to say, or that's what I'm going to see. So yeah, just to finish off here, yeah. So anybody can like go teleport around to the different areas, check stuff out. But anyways, yeah, thank you everybody for coming, hanging out. If you stuck around the stream, kind of hope that some of the stuff has been like interesting and kind of cool to see, to hear about what's been going on. When are we getting the official hardcore Veloren server? True. The full experience of One Death and all. Yeah, so I imagine, I guess a few months from now, we'll probably be having our next release party. Hopefully we can see another awesome release party map that people get to check out. Lots of new features, of course. But until then, where's my outro? Here we go. All right. Thank you for coming, everybody. Happy release day, and we'll see you next time.